Here in Daniel chapter 2, we have the vision or dream that King Nebuchadnezzar saw of the four-part statue. The beginning of the chapter covers the dream and the king's requirement for its interpretation. And here, Daniel begins by relaying the dream and its interpretation. Verse 31 through 35 more or less describe this four-part statue, or something like it: a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, waist and thighs of bronze, and legs and feet of iron, with the feet being iron mixed with clay. Now, when we are looking at this, to the first century audience, this would have spoken about Rome. Speaking of this that begins with Babylon, according to verse 36 right here, Daniel is calling Nebuchadnezzar the head of gold. And so as we progress through history, these four kingdoms are represented by Babylon, Media-Persia, Greece, and finally Rome. And so to the people expecting Messiah and expecting the kingdom of God to come, when we're talking about Babylon, it's really referring to these four pieces of the statue, these four pieces of the statue, because the statue comprises one whole. And so when you speak of Babylon, you're calling it by the name of the head. So to call the foot of the statue by the name of the head simply makes sense. So to call Rome Babylon would simply make sense. What is striking here is that when the rock cut out without hands comes and breaks the statue, it strikes it at its feet. But it says here, all together were broken in pieces, meaning all of the materials were broken by this rock. It wasn't simply the iron, it was the gold, the silver, and the bronze. This points out several things. First of all, this means that it has to be, as I see it, historical Rome, because why? Because the iron, with the iron, the gold, the silver, and the bronze were also broken. Also, this would rule out the idea of full preterism, because, as we can see, this is talking about the fall of an oppressing one-world government. The world was dominated by a one-world government from the time of Nebuchadnezzar to the decline of Rome, several centuries after Christ. But this conglomerate, this thing called Rome, this was a pagan empire. And so we see that Daniel 2 is speaking about something well beyond the 70 AD destruction of Jerusalem, and yet is also speaking specifically and only about Rome.